What's up, everybody? It's Dave. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is a day I really try and dedicate to getting in the gym, breaking out some toys, and working on mobility and stability, specifically centered around my golf game, which I'm taking very seriously these days. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of what I do and how it all works. So the first toy I have is my mixed bike with the tablet. The workout I have up there today is 645 with M. Wallace Caesar. This particular one is stage 2, week 5. Mobility and stability. Oh, what do you know? And I love this one the most because it's really hip centric. They all involve hips in some way, but this one is really like we're keying in and we're going to work on both the mobility and stability of your hips. Then I'll move on and I'll break out the GolfForever swing trainer and do some stuff with this that also is focused on mobility and stability. So the issues that I have are really related to injuries. I have some thoracic spine issues. Those have been pretty much eradicated by doing this type of stuff. Very different than I'm going to show you today, but generally working on the mobility and stability of my thoracic spine. That's related to a shoulder injury, which I hit a tree skiing up in British Columbia. The big issues I have are in my hips, particularly with my golf swing. I'll show you in just a second what that means. They're also related to injuries. When I was 15, I tore ligaments in my left ankle playing basketball and had to have surgery. When I was 24, I was playing basketball again, and I tore my left ACL and the meniscus. What that resulted in for me, and there was like a 6-month waiting period when I tore the ACL between when I hurt myself and when I could have the surgery because of an insurance issue. Oh, that was fun. What that's resulted in is just a real imbalance in my body where this right side is strong, and very stable, but not very mobile, because I'm used to putting so much weight on it. Like even if I'm just standing, talking to people, I'll find myself doing this, where I'm locking in my right side and just leaning on it, because it's just subconscious for me at this point. And I have to really catch myself and go, no, let's stand on the left side for a while, focus on that. So these are all just old things that you gotta work through. This is a little different than losing weight. Losing weight can be tough too, but if you have, say, 20 pounds to lose, you can do a lot of cardio, you can change the way you eat, you can lose some weight. And as long as you continue to maintain that in a certain way, the weight will stay off for the most part. Mobility and stability, if I don't do this stuff on a regular basis, I just go right back. I'm all gummed up. My right hip won't spin in particular, and my left hip won't support, okay? So let's talk a little bit about how that happens in golf and how I identified this. A couple different ways. The first one was doing the assessments that came with both 645 and GolfForever. With GolfForever, I did the 30-day free trial, and I just didn't see the value in the subscription. I started doing the workouts, and I was like, I can pretty much do these on my own. I thought the stretching portions were pretty soft. They just weren't hard enough for me, and we actually had changed my subscription and dialed it up to make it harder, and it still just wasn't that hard. The actual workouts with the swing trainer were very hard, and I thought they were very good. But for $200 a year, I just couldn't justify it. Not when I have access to something like Body, which used to be known as Beachbody, where I don't only have this workout, I have thousands of workouts that are all a part of this subscription, and I've been working out at home with Beachbody stuff and Body stuff now since 2003. So that's 20 years. So that's worked, right? So here's how this sort of comes in. So doing those assessments, first of all, and then working with my swing coach at Golf Tech. And one of the things he spotted right away, he said, you know what I want you to do? You should make sure that the shoelaces on your right foot are facing the target at impact. And I didn't really understand what that was all about until he started to talk about my hips. And he said, you're hitting the ball like this, right? That doesn't work, right? Where I want to get to is more a position like this, where my hips are facing the target and I've got my hands out ahead of the club and I'm really hitting it. Problem is, my right hip doesn't have that mobility, so it doesn't want to spin. It just wants to stay stuck in that position. So I got to loosen this up, and I got to work on hip mobility on my right side. So the other side of the coin, though, is as I'm trying to come down, right? I can load up really well because this is super stable. But as I'm trying to come down and maintain this spine angle and try to get to my left side, my hip needs more strength, and it needs more stability to do that. What I tend to do, stand up to get more ankle articulation, use my ankles for the mobility that I need. That results in bad, inconsistent golf swings, and I'll flip at it because I get stuck. So my arms get out ahead, and I'll flip at the ball, hitting all kinds of crazy bad shots that usually go right. So that ain't gonna work. So what do? Well, again, working with 645, these workouts are very specific. He's very directed and focused, telling you this is what we're working on. It's either going to be mobility or stability, and I tend to focus on the workouts where he's working on hips because those are my issues. So that's kind of warm up and also exercise. And again, not yoga, but it's mobility and stability. I'm actually focusing on moving around. Then I get to the GolfForever swing trainer. And again, I love this equipment. It's super solid. It is well designed. I just couldn't see the value in the sub. A couple different things I'm trying to do with that. A lot of rotational stuff. This is a band, like a exercise band basically. It's just got this nice little sleeve on it, right? Which would be right hip mobility, firing through, trying to get that right hip to really open up and work the way I need it to. And also working on left hip stability here, maintaining that. The other one I really like, and these are just two of like the moves that I do, but this is why the step is here. Get up on the step, just a little bit further away. Get up on the step, try to maintain that spine angle, and drive into the left. And I can really feel that in my left hip big time. Like that right here is just going, ouch, right? Because it wants me to stand up. It just doesn't want to be there, really. It probably wants to rotate out of the way. So these are just a couple of the things that I'm doing. If you hold that for a minute, it's pretty serious. That I'm doing to address the issues that I have, which are just trying to make that move, which is kind of important if you want to play really good golf. 7 handicap now, trying to get to a 5 or lower. We'll see. But been taking it pretty serious lately, and Tuesday is my day to not go to the golf course, not pound golf balls in the garage, but do the important foundational work, working on mobility and stability. So with all that, feel free to shoot me an email if you have questions about my thoughts on GolfForever, or you want more information on the body and the mixed bike and how all this works. You don't necessarily need the bike. Happen to like the bike, great source of cardio. It also comes with all the workouts preloaded on the tablet, which is awesome. Please shoot me an email, info@thefitclubnetwork.com. Until the next time, I'll see you later.